Hello, people.
Hello, we're back.
It's us again.
We're
We're
finally
back after
for...
our 6 month sabbatical, like Barry last year.
Oh boy! Oh, it's good to be back.
It really is.
It's
Out
good
of
to be
that
back.
fucking speed
I've
force.
missed these little weekly conversations with you, Dylan, where I actually can tolerate a little bit more of your bullshit.
Well, you've been doing that. You've been doing that anyway with my my extremely troubled life, which we won't go into detail here.
Oh, that depends. Do we want some drama? I hear it's really good for views. But we're finally back. We're finally here for season 5. We're gonna try and do these. Yeah, we're gonna try and do these.
5 years. Well, show that it's not this podcast.
And I am 19 in November, and I'm gonna feel very fucking old.
I've been watching since 2014, mate. I feel old already.
Oh no, I've been watching since season 1 as well. Anyway, we're finally here for season 5 of The Flash. We've been on break because we've both been busy as fuck. I've been moving. Dylan's been homeless.
Yep, temporary accommodation. It's been interesting, to say the least. But at least I get research my homeless game.
True, it's very hands-on research, isn't it?
Yes, it really is.
Anyway, so we're going to be doing podcasts each week for season 5.
Oh yeah, and I'm not suggesting that. You only said every few weeks. I was like, nah, every Wednesday after each episode.
We never actually had a schedule plan, which I love. No,
but we did it. I didn't start saying we've got to do it after every episode.
And then that's how that came about because, because I've pretty much retired from YouTube now. I've just got to upload a video saying, "Yep, I'm done with YouTube podcasts."
All that's going left, all that's going to go on your YouTube channel is just podcasts. That's it.
Exactly. That's literally all it's going to turn into now. I'm going to be like a discount version of the True Geordie, but 1 without the accent, 2 who not as popular.
True Geordie, eh? The True Geordie. I don't know if that's the accent. Is it?
No, that's Yorkshire, mate.
Oh fuck, that's Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I remember. Oh god, remember those fucking times? It was like language. Now fucking look at us.
Oh no, you'll probably pick that up again later on in the podcast.
Yeah, probably.
Should we discuss some news that I told you about earlier, just before we get into the juicy stuff?
Yeah.
So James Gunn is currently being considered for writing
Suicide Squad 2.
Directing, Suicide Squad 2. Who he's in discussions for it. I saw an article on this yesterday as well, but I sent you one this morning. They've not confirmed anything about directing, but it does look like he could end up writing it. Thoughts?
Yeah. What I saw said he's in talks for directing and writing Suicide Squad 2. I was like, damn. Looks like Marvel fucked up. More.
I'm worried about it because I feel that he can only write comedy, and even then, not.
Suicide Squad is meant to be more comedic, though, isn't it?
Not with the way it's been going in the DC universe so far, or the worlds of DC.
Yeah, they're trying to make the DC EU more comedic anyway, though. So
they're trying to make it a bit more dark. They're trying to make the tone a little bit lighter, but it is still the darker of the two universes.
Yeah. However, with all of it can be really comedic and it still fit perfectly if the other ones are more dark. So it's like Flash seasons. They make it more light-hearted, but they still have dark episodes.
I've got a feeling this season's going to be very dark for the Flash, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
I'm betting Eobard comes back.
He comes back at least once every season.
Yeah, he has done so. But remember last season, everyone's like, fuck, he hasn't come back in the first few episodes. Fuck, where is he? Season 4 was like, it's crossing FX. I was like, oh, there he is. Fuck that. Now, fuck off, Eobard. We'll see you next year.
Basically, yeah, but so what do you think of that? You've not seen fucking any of them, so I don't know why I'm asking your opinion on this.
You seen what?
You've not seen any of the live-action DC movies, so I don't know why I'm asking your opinion on this. Moving on. Other bits of news are we got a new Aquaman trailer, a couple of
Oh,
days
yeah.
ago. Like it's a
Yeah.
5-minute trailer. I'm not sure about the choice in that, but with the whole goings on at DC, it's probably to try and like make people feel a bit more at ease. I feel that the first trailer was probably a bit better, but
Alright.
for Aquaman, because that's like brilliant trailer, I think.
Yeah.
But
You said about that.
it looks like it'll be a good movie. So I think
Talking about a few days ago, talking about trailers a few days ago, they also released their CW also released their usual first few episodes trailer, and we can see there's going to be a lot of fighting in the next few episodes because, as Captain Singh said, about Central City turning into a war zone.
Yeah, I remember because I saw that trailer actually. I'm just like, well, if they're trying to get people who hated season 4 back on board, they're doing a good job with the marketing.
Especially you, because you hated it.
I did hate it. I despised
you wanted to kill yourself at one point, didn't you?
I think that was just due to my depression, but I don't think it helped. It didn't help.
It made you more depressed. And that made you more suicidal. There we go.
I've not had a suicide attempt relapse in like years, so this is getting dark. This is getting dark. I'm probably going to annoy my neighbours if I keep being too loud. Oh yeah, I've moved out, by the way, so that's something that happened. Dylan, are you still there? Oh, I should break down now. Dylan's data connection is not known for being very good. He's got to keep moving around to figure it all out. So, if he goes silent like he is now, that is going to be one of our biggest problems while doing these podcasts while he's in his temporary accommodation. We're currently working on a way to, like, find a solution. We've brainstormed some ideas, but just a fair warning on that front. So, Dylan, are you back?
Oh, yes. There we go.
I've just filled the viewers in that if you go silent, it's because your temporary accommodation hasn't got best data connection, and we've been brainstorming ideas to fix it.
It's not like my phone crashed. My phone half crashed.
So you know that new phone you got and you've been bragging about to me for a while, yeah? You're very proud of that,
yeah? Yeah.
So you're telling me it's just crashed 5 minutes into the podcast.
Half crashed. Do you know why? I left my screen in the Discord call. So while it's processing the call, it's also processing every other server I'm in. I'm in like 40 servers.
Jesus, I'm in a lot more servers than that, I think, by now.
Yeah, but you primarily use a computer though, whereas I'm on a mobile with like 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. So while it's good for mobile, it's still got all those servers.
Yeah, you probably should just lock your screen.
I have.
You have, okay, right.
I'm way ahead of you. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. There's no stopping, Savitar. Except if it crashes again.
or if your data connection goes to shit.
Yeah.
Though
I'll be honest though, with GIFGAF, my data was a lot better than it used to be. Still quite crap at times, but better than it used to be.
So basically, for the most part, you're all right. Got it.
Yeah, it should be. It shouldn't be like how it used to be, where when we first did the live stream. It should be that quality.
Jesus Christ, you remember those days, Dylan?
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
Those were horror. Good days.
When we was podcasting on the bus.
And all the background noise.
Yeah.
We won't be getting that anymore.
And then we start pre-recording it on the bus instead.
And even more background noise.
Yeah, because it was actually a stable connection, relatively. Because you weren't having the fucking stream, mate. Well, you weren't having the stream to me either. Wait, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was less streaming.
Shall we get on to episode 1 then, and just sort of give a basic review and then break things down? We've not made a plan for this, by the way.
No, we haven't. We probably should have, but
we probably should have. But to be fair,
we both watched it. We've both watched the episode in the last 2 hours, and we just jumped right into this.
Yeah, we have basically. Well, we were going to be doing a massive review of it anyway, and probably delve into a few other things like what we want to happen or what could happen. And your normal premiere thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say straight up, and this isn't saying much considering how bad it was, but this episode alone is better than the entirety of season 4.
Actually, you lie. You liked the first half of season 4. Then it went to shit, remember?
Yeah, but I
So
like the first half. I like the first half of
Are-
season 4, but I think the problem
Basically,
there was the problem I had with season 4 was I was never like none of the trailers or anything wowed me towards it. And although I've not seen every single trailer they've released for it, I've looked at a few. I've looked at the Warzone one. I've looked at like the San Diego Comic Con one. One and the Shadows one. Any others I don't know if there were, so if I've missed any, that'll be why.
Wait, what in the Shadows?
There was a trailer about like, oh, he's living in the shadows or something. Trailer. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
That
it's
one.
not the name of it.
See,
It's
the
not the name of
difference
it.
between this and the difference between this season's premiere and last season's premiere is I'm a lot more excited. I'm a lot more excited to go into
Barry was actually here this time.
No, I wasn't even disappointed of that. I was a lot more excited just to go into it because it looked better in every way. Season 4, even when it was like tolerable, I wouldn't say it was decent. It was tolerable. I was never really wowed by. I was never really excited to get into it. So even though I like
season 4 of Arrow, I predicted this like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
literally.
Hang on. You've not let me finish. You've not let me finish because like this is just my preliminary statement. I'll delve deeper into this as we delve deeper into the episode and review that. So with that said, if I had an editor for this thing, there'd be a full spoiler warning slapped across the screen. But I don't.
So wait, spoiler warning. Spoiler warning.
You know what? You could just use your old phone for the sound effects. That would be everything sorted. But yeah. So
yeah, good point. Actually, fuck's sake, Kanan. Fuck's sake.
But no, even where season 4 was tolerable, and like it was trying to tell a bit of a consistent story.
Yeah, then they did a 180 with DeVoe because he literally said about making people smarter, and then his plans make people stupid. Hold up, writers, you missed something here. Because enlightening people is making them smarter, for fuck's sake.
So even though, like, even though this is only the first episode, and I did enjoy some parts of season 4, this episode is better than the entirety of that, with the exception of maybe.
You actually thought I was good.
I did. We'll get to that in a bit, actually. But even though we had things like,
would you not?
No, hang on. Even though we had things like Enter Flash Time last season, this is probably the best Flash episode within like the past year and a half. Should we dive deep into it then, or do you want to give a preliminary review yourself, and then we'll go deeper? Dylan, I can't hear you. What's going on? Oh, is this a data thing? Hello, can you hear me? Right, okay, I can hear you a little bit. Hello?
It was the best.
I've no idea what you're saying, but I'm assuming your data connection is cutting out. Okay, try speaking. There we go.
Hello?
Yep, now I can. Hello, Dylan.
For fuck's you here?
I'm here, but like you keep cutting out. This is going really well. We're not even 15 minutes in. We're not even 15 minutes in, and it's already going to shit. Oh no.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
yes.
System UI isn't responding. What?
Well, now I can hear you, so...
Processcom dot Android dot phone.
Dylan, have you got anything else that would require internet open on your phone right now?
Why?
No, you've gone all robotic again. Okay, so while we try and get Dylan back...
Fuck, that one ain't waiting. Fuck.
Okay, I think we're there. Try speaking. Well, I can hear you breathing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
It's because I followed your suggestion, and that's
What suggestion? Oh no, you're gone again.
sound.
Don't use any sound effects. Don't turn off your hotspot. Turn off your hotspot.
No.
Okay, speak.
Hello.
Okay, yep.
Hey, now it's gone off. Now the hotspot's off, and now everything's back normal.
Don't use the fucking hotspot again.
No, I'm gonna have to use crappy BT Wi-Fi on my other phone now. For fuck's sake, that fucking cuts out all the time.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, did you want to give your preliminary review and then we'll go deeper into the episode? And discuss it scene by scene?
I mean, it's not my favourite episode. It doesn't have Saboteur in it, but it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, so shall we delve deeper into it then? Best place to start, probably with the first scene.
Right at the opening.
Yeah.
The opening. Of course, we usually get the whole my name is Barry Allen, but we got the whole last season of Flash, blah blah blah. Recapped the last episode of season 4, and then we got my name is Nora Allen, West Allen, and I'm the fastest woman alive.
And so on. What did you think of that?
Oh no, wait, wait. Let's go back a minute.
Yeah, what did you think of that, by the way?
I liked it. It was cool, and she did that thing at the end as well. I was like, I like that.
Like, I don't really have much to say on that. I'm just like, okay, you know what? I don't really have an issue with that or much to say.
No, it's a good change, isn't it? It's a good change from Barry constantly saying it.
Yeah, like, because we
I'm the fastest man alive. Whack, 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 whack. I'm well fast now, but I'm still not fast enough to defeat a disabled guy.
Because I can't be. Jesus Christ. No, it's not because he wasn't fast enough. It's because he was too stupid to realise they should have just put him in prison in episode at the end of episode 6, and then boom, we're done. Season over.
Oh fuck! No, his daughter can't come back in time now. Shit.
Like,
well,
no,
see next season or instead.
No, like being realistic.
If we ever get an 8-episode season, we know why. That's what they'll be doing.
Yeah, moving on to the actual opening scene where it sort of picks up from the end of last season. First impressions of Nora.
It was good. It was good acting. It was good acting. The character was good.
The character's alright actually, because I remember saying to you privately that up until now, I think I even said on the season 4 review, and that was the last podcast we did, somewhat unintentionally, because we did record another, but another 1 or 2, but I think for various reasons I never got around to uploading.
I'm pretty sure that we had to re-record one of them. We never got around to it.
Yeah, something like that. I do remember saying that I never really knew.
Even if it's not true, it sounds like us anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember saying to you that I wasn't really on board with her being there. They've not really provided me with a reason, and then watching the trailers.
I did tell you we'll be getting reasons in season 5. Oh look, first episode, we've got reasons. Fucking
I
called
know,
it.
but I remember.
Called it.
I know you called it, but hang on, because I remember.
You owe me
saying,
£5.
Yeah. I remember saying to you, I saw the trailer and she just gives Barry the flash ring, and I'm just like, okay, well now it just seems like she's here to give him the flash ring and be a nod, and that is a nod to fans. But
Oh, not to fans. Fan. The season 1 suit was not a fucking fan favourite.
you're not happy about that, are you?
Season 5 suit she should have called it fan favourite, like she did in the fucking trailer. But no, they fucking changed it up.
I mean, I think I like the fact that it's a callback and they went ahead and did that. So
Yeah, but fan favourite. Loads of people saying, "Oh, it's too dark. The emblem's not right. Oh, it's Betty in a yellow." Fan favourite, and it's meant to be a meta joke. It's more of a meta mock.
maybe it's designed as that. So if it is, then you can't really.
If it isn't, fuck you, CW.
No,
I don't
but,
often say that.
In terms of having her in the opening scene, like obviously I had to wait until a bit further in, but I thought she was all right. It was basically like okay, like this is gonna take some getting used to. Like, is she here as the comic relief this season? But,
No, she's not. That's Ralph. That's Ralph, as we saw in the episode.
Yeah, no, but
So,
I think I think partially her early character, before they sort of got into like setting up some of the story threads for her, was to be a bit of comic relief.
Oh yeah,
and
everyone's comic relief when they first come on.
Yeah,
Look at Wally. Look at Wally, for God's sake. He was your typical stereotypical African American teenager. African American teenager. Racing, for fuck's sake. It's like, really? Really?
You know, like what do you think about Cecile though? Like, she's only in it briefly, so we'll touch on her briefly.
Yeah. That sounds perverted, but
okay. We'll mention her briefly.
There we go. Yeah, we don't condone groping people. Unless you'll start it.
Jesus Christ.
Kids, stop watching, please.
Jesus Christ.
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Let's not. Do you think she's worth
because consent is important, kids.
Dylan,
anyway, you were saying?
No, do you think Cecile is worth having in this episode or this season, because she is actually a series regular this season?
Yeah, well, she had to be in this episode. She had to be in this episode anyway.
Yeah, she had to be in it anyway, and I think we all knew she was only going to be there briefly.
But Wally, what is he be gone for the next 6 episodes now?
We'll get to Wally later, but Cecile, just straight up, do you think it's worth having her there?
Yes, because it's going to show.
Oh, you're starting to.
It's good. Obviously.
Okay,
for fuck's sake.
No, you're better.
Yeah, it's going to be worth it because obviously one description said about.
Oh no, you're cutting again.
Was the for real?
You did start cutting as you were starting to read the description or tell me what it said.
Just still not being happy over losing powers, yeah.
That's something as well, because obviously there's the telepathy thing back for a split second.
No, not back. She only gave birth a day before, yeah.
Yeah, so do you think do you think she's got those powers permanently, or do they belong to her daughter?
No. Like I said earlier, okay, for the people that actually care about the science of it, not you, Kanan. When a woman gives birth,
I'm glad you're cutting out for this bit, because I don't think everyone wants to know.
Basically, hormones stay, so her powers, which are linked to the hormones, should stay for a while as well.
Does it seem like she's even going to have a worthwhile story though? Because that's something that really bothered me about some of a lot of the characters last season. Actually, the story for them just wasn't worthwhile in terms of side stories.
What, Caitlin?
Sometimes Caitlin, though I did say she was probably one of the best characters in season 4, but like I think primarily Cecile for me. Like primarily Cecile for me last season wasn't worth having her there. So because she didn't really have a storyline.
Cecile and Joe. Joe didn't have a storyline
And you're cutting again.
They were just. Ah!
I heard that loud and clear.
Well, thank you.
But yeah. Which character do you want to move on to next?
One second. Life, go fuck yourself.
Right. Okay. Next character next character in the opening scene then, or well, is there anything else you really want to say about the opening scene?
I like the fact that Cisco got drunk right there on fucking champagne of all things.
I love Carlos Valdez. He is brilliant.
Carlos is good. He's good.
He is good.
Much like Cisco, next scene.
And you're cutting. And you're gone. I didn't even hear the scream that time. It cut out halfway through.
Or was it like
Yeah, pretty much. But
you're enjoying this, aren't you?
Okay.
Are you enjoying this?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to think of like where we go next. Do you want to do the next scene? Like, I don't really feel there's too much to talk about in the first like opening scene or opening of the season rather. Move on to the next one. And you've cut.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I should tell you you were cut right at the beginning and then you cut halfway through of what you were saying. But what do you think of like Nora towards Iris actually? That's one final thing I'll bring up about the opening and then we'll move on. Dylan. Oh no, you're cutting again. You're cutting. You might want to move around your room a little bit for a bit of a better connection. And I can't hear you at all. Okay, you back? No, you're still cutting out or sounding robotic. Again, people, we apologise, but this is really not our fault. We're not even half an hour in. Dear Lord. Dylan, are you there? Can you hear me? Are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep going robotic and cutting out. Nope, I can't. You're robotic or cutting out. This is going really well. Have you ever considered like going outside your room or something? Okay, try again. That just sounds like an anguished scream. Again, people, we apologise for the technical difficulties. Okay, Dylan, try again. I can barely hear you. You keep sounding robotic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you go with giffgaff for your data provider to your cell phone or mobile phone or whatever you call it. Because I do not want to have to do this by having Dylan ring up my cell and then I have to hold that to the microphone. That would be very bad quality. Okay, and Dylan has left the call, but we will wait for him to get back. Again, people, we do apologise for these technical difficulties. We're working on solving them. I will try and get him back as quick as I can. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not support giffgaff voicemail. Do not go to them for your cell phone data or mobile data. Go to quite literally anyone else. Because I'm sure they can deliver better than this. Because this is not going too well. In fact... there might be another way we can do this. Oh, hello, can you hear me? Speak, my son!
Can you hear me?
Barely, I've no idea what you're on. Did you have to swap over your SIM or something?
No. I left my phone I left my SIM in the my newer phone, the one that crashed.
Oh yeah, did it crash again?
Crashing again.
Okay.
Yes, it crashed.
I did just say on podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we do not support giffgaff as your cell provider. Please go with literally anyone else.
Actually, giffgaff is getting better.
At this point,
we do not support the Alcatel U5.
Don't
Do not get that phone,
that is.
ladies and gentlemen. It's crap.
Where were we? I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I did want to
Still
say
better than the Sony Xperia E1, which is what I'm currently using now. Because I hotspotted my phone. I'm now using the other phone, the one that doesn't get data on when I put the SIM in it, and I'm now using that. And
it's going well then.
Yeah, that's proof it was just my phone.
So you're just going to use the old phone for the rest of the podcast.
That thing's half dead anyway. Yeah, I'm on my E1 for the rest of the podcast. Sony Xperia E1, crap, but when better does crapper, it's good for you.
Anyway,
Doesn't make sense, but I don't care.
No, I was going
to. Yeah, I could hear you, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologise for the technical difficulties multiple times. I was leaning out my window.
I was joking when I sent that bit, but there we go.
No, I did that. I was hanging out the window. I didn't even see you say it until just now.
I was going to say, did you want to say anything else about the opening scene? But I do want to quickly sort of talk about, what do you think about the, like, and we'll bring this up more later and discuss it more later, so you don't need to get all your points in now, but what did you think of, like, Nora versus Iris?
Yeah, that's what we're about getting to. What crashed? I find it interesting. Obviously, there's one part we can't say later on in the review, but it's interesting because of course she's had Iris around her whole life, whereas Barry's not been there.
We'll get to this later because
we'll
like
get
right
to
now it's like it would.
I have a big theory. I have a big theory.
You've got a big theory, have you? Yeah.
Yeah, and it relates to comics because it's exactly what happened in the comic.
Okay. Shall we move on to like the second?
I'm pretty sure it's the exact year as well. So, but because basically she's had Iris her whole life. Barry's not been there. So that's why she seems a lot. So that's why she basically is a lot more attached to Barry than she is to Iris because she's obviously already had that bond with Iris. Now she's getting that bond with Barry.
I've got some theories as to what could happen, but again I'll get to those later. Second scene. What did you think of that?
Which one was that again?
When they first had her in the speed lab.
Yeah, when it revealed Cisco was drunk. Yeah.
I just want to say on that subject, he's just laying down and Caitlin is just there in the background, waving her hand over his face, trying to get his attention. I laughed out loud at that. Because Cisco's just laying down with his eye just completely, probably with his eyes open, and you see Caitlin just squatting, like, waving her hand in circles over his body. I'm just like, I'm just like, yes.
The future daughter came and crashed my pity party. How am I meant to anticipate that? Is what he said.
He did.
Anticipate. Ugh. Anticipate. Okay. Fuck's like Cisco.
He really was out of it. How much fucking champagne did he have to drink for that?
I don't know, but champagne don't get drunk easily, does it? So, fucking hell, he should be in
probably way too much.
He should be in a hospital with alcohol poisoning.
We don't know. Maybe his meta powers are allowing him to like heal faster. Faster in terms of liver.
Some reviews by people. I liked it. It wasn't as good as it needed to be after season 4 burned through the goodwill the other seasons generated. But that doesn't mean it wasn't good. The Barry's / Nora Time Vault was some really strong stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to that later because I think that was probably like one of the major turning points of the episode because for me, like up until that point or something close to it, I'm sort of there like, okay, right, this is going on quite slowly now. Like,
what? 1 minute. By the way, actually, no, I'll say it's right at the end.
Well, like for me, like if we're talking about this episode on its own and like season-wise, probably fair enough. But at the moment,
okay, one minute. By the way, so you know that second newspaper that was in the episode.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later.
I'm gonna read out what it said. Someone's literally like wrote out what it said.
Wait until later. Or tell me that privately in case it turns out being a major plot point somewhere later on in the season.
We're not going to see it anytime soon, are we? Really?
Probably not, but I'd rather sort of wait for now. But no, what do you like? I feel like up until like for a good half of the episode. Like, for a good half of the episode, I feel like Nora's character is just there to be a bit too much comic relief. Like, it bordered on cringe where I was actually yelling out, "Oh god, the cringe!"
Yeah.
I was actually yelling it out. I sent you an all caps text.
You,
Just
you sent me an all caps text, yes.
I sent all caps text just so you got an impression of what it was like. It's just like, oh, the cringe. It actually was that cringy at times. It was painful. Like, I remember my forehead just physically cringing that much. It's just like, oh god.
I quote, Jack at 9:12 a.m. Oh god, the cringe.
Yeah, but then thankfully, I think probably you're gonna hate me for saying this, but one of the strongest / weakest parts in some places of the episode was Ralph. Like,
Yeah, he was.
yeah, he was like one of the strongest, but also one of the weakest things. I feel like he's still a bit too much comic relief, and combine that with Nora, who's being brought in as the comic relief for this episode primarily. It's just a bit too much. Like, his didn't make me cringe, but it's just like, okay, right, there's a bit too much here.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, right, I won't moan about this because it's the first episode, Dylan will hate me, but we're reviewing it, so I need to point it out. There was too much comic relief from him, and I get it, he's meant to be the funny guy, he's the funny guy everyone loves, and, it does work well to his character. He was definitely one of the best.
Like the recap rap for season 4 said, gum shooter and the gum dude.
Yeah, basically, like, I'm glad that they're looking like they'll give him a bit more in terms of story arc, apart from to be the humorous guy.
Oh, by the way, he is going to get his own storyline for definite, because people have seen, when they record the episodes and that.
Yeah.
People have seen Ralph Dibney, PI agency on like.
Yeah, they released a photo of a billboard with that. So yeah, I'm glad he's getting his own sort of story arc and storyline, but at the same time,
but what's going to happen to Barry now? Because does he obviously he has a job at CCPD again. They said that in the last episode. Singh was trying to ring him about, like, saying that it was going through and that.
Yeah.
And then of course it's next day, he got it back like the next day or 2 days after that.
Yeah.
Ralph gave him that job at his own little company he made. So now is he just going to give that up, or is he going to have 2 jobs now? Well, 3 jobs if you count the Flash. What?
Like, I feel that's just a point for contention.
Now he's got to juggle being a dad as well. That's 4 jobs.
No, I'm willing to forget the whole PI job thing, because that was just in the mess of season 4 writing. It was mentioned briefly and never mentioned again, so I'm just sort of willing to forget about that.
Yeah, I know. It's just I really wanted to see that. Loads of people want to see a team up, like them solving stuff together.
Like, we could potentially get that, and I feel there is a lot more attention to what the fans are after this season, because I think for season 4, this was one of my biggest problems with it. It was the writers persistently pushing through with a story that they knew would not work, but they wanted to do anyway. And I feel that if they'd heard the fan outcries the way they've been hearing things now this season already, or up to this season,
it's like a million fans cried out in horror and suddenly silent.
Not silent though, I think, is the difference, because like
and we're silenced.
Because I remember you told me in one podcast when we were first starting up the podcast and everything, like, the fans who were slagging off season 3 when season 4 was on, they just went back to season 3 and they're just like, actually, this isn't so shit now.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also another case of that. The prequels are bad. Force Awakens, Last Jedi. Yeah, the prequels aren't that bad.
Sadly, that is true, but it's mostly just a bunch of brain-dead virgins. So we'll leave them. We don't mention the brain-dead versions.
So you then, yeah?
No, I'm one of the brain-alive versions. We just don't mention the brain-dead virgins. There's a difference, because the ones who are not brain-dead are actually intelligent. The ones who are brain-dead are just... They're idiots who need to be exorcised from humanity.
Like Disney themselves?
No, I've got nothing wrong with Disney.
No, the fact they're getting bad writers in it. That's what I mean. Last Jedi coming a lot better. Yeah, sure, it was good by itself, but as a part of the saga, it wasn't that good.
Moving on to the Flash, because that's what we're discussing. No,
Yeah, I know Mark Hamill's in the Flash, but we're not here to discuss him.
we're not.
Other people think he's in this episode. No, he's not. That was I meant the series itself, not this episode. Just one stupid enough to think that. Because trust me, there are some of you out there that would think that.
Yeah, brain dead virgins.
Oh yeah. There you go. Hey.
No, but
We're gonna get a bit
realistic.
backlash for this, aren't we?
No, being realistic though, like there were parts of this episode. I think the weakest part for me was just comic relief. Like some of it was too needless. It was quite slow getting started, but it's the premiere episode and they need to set things up, so excusable. But what did you think of Ralph out of 10 this episode compared to last season? Dylan.
Well, I mean, the thing is though, didn't Ralph know about time travel last season?
Apparently not. If he did, I must have missed that part because I probably either gave up watching or just went to sleep. So that
he does. He does know about time travel. They told him about Saboteur. They explained Saboteur to him. A future version of Barry came back in time, tried to kill Iris. They literally said that to him.
I think
he knows what time travel. I know what happened. I know what's happened.
Yeah.
I know why he's forgotten stuff.
Oh, because of Devoe in his body.
No. Flashpoint paradox. And no, it ain't about Flashpoint. It's about Nora. The whole Barry said to Rebod, no, that would have changed what happened before her murder, and he said, but it did. Break the sound barrier, and there's a sonic boom. Broke the time barrier, Flash. Time boom. Ripples of distortion radiated from that point of impact. She's done everything just a bit, but enough.
Yeah.
Nora caused him to forget. She went back in time again, and that little ripple affected him.
Yeah, that makes sense. To be fair, I will say one thing though. I love the reference to season 1. I don't know if you caught it.
Oh wow! Oh, it's a timeline where I died in the part hook scene. That's exactly what happened.
I'm just like, boy, if only you knew. No, but realistically though, what did you think?
Barry remembers that timeline. Wait. Imagine if he said that Barry. Imagine if he said that Barry. He'd be like, that's
moving on.
He's like, yeah, moving. Like, you see Ralph just like Barry, like, thank you. You'd see that, wouldn't you? Ralph would just hug him like, thank you, Barry.
He would. No, but you didn't answer my question. Out of 10 this episode, what do you think of Ralph?
Yeah, because he has forgotten stuff. That's the thing, though. Obviously, can we talk about time travel? If we talk about,
I'd give him a 6 or a 7.
9.
I'd give him a 6 or a 7. Like, I think it's just a bit.
I'd say about 8 or 9. But
the only reason I'm scoring so low is because I feel like he's giving a bit too much in the way of comic relief where it's not needed, and that is the fault of the writers. To be honest,
not necessarily. Like you said about Devoe, he's only been back in his he's only been in control of his body for like, what, 12 hours now. It was night when he got control of the back of his body. The next day they're having a party.
Yeah, remember? You know, like regardless of that side, like in terms of like the real life reasons, because we need to pay attention to that. There is a bit too much comic relief, and him being one of the deliverers of that sort of. It doesn't steal the spotlight, but it's just like, okay, right, this isn't really the greatest comic relief you could do. Like, plus a lot of it seems a bit forced, like part of it did for him in season 4 as well. Like, you remember the episode where they fought Null, particularly, his comic relief was very forced.
It had story reasons, so.
Yeah, it had story reasons, but regardless of.
I'm Joe West, the baddest dead cop.
No, but
Are you really reminiscent about parts of season 4 now?
No, I'm simply saying in terms of the character, like a lot of this feels forced, like it did at some parts of that.
It's called a joke, Jack.
Cheers, Dylan.
For what?
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, no, that's what I was fucking sarcastic. I went, so what? Explain the concept of a joke.
Which point do you want to discuss next, actually? Because not much happens until like halfway through. So, shall we move on to? Well, do you want to move on to like one of those points after like the? Should we move on to the time vault scene, because I feel that is probably one of the most important parts of the episode.
Yes, of course. So obviously they went to the time vault.
We'll leave the theories for
And-
the end of the review, by the way. So leave the theories for the end of the review.
Yeah, I'll leave my theory to the end of the review as well. But I'll read out. Will read out what the newspaper said.
Can you leave the newspaper for then as well? Like, I primarily want to talk about like the characters.
I want to see your reaction, or proper, or I'll say a couple names in it. That's it.
Okay, yeah, sure. You can say the names. Names are fine. Like, I don't want the full breakdown of it. Like, it'll be broken down in the show when the time comes to it.
Yeah,
and I'd prefer to see it that way than just two idiots on a podcast breaking it down.
They never did it on the show though with the first newspaper, did they?
No, but I think that with that one they left it on screen for longer, so fans who probably wanted to see could read that.
Yeah.
So there's a difference here that what I would prefer is if I want a full breakdown of what happens, I will wait for. I will wait for it to be done on the show, but the name's fine.
Yeah, no. But so
I think for me it's very. Hang on. In terms of the time vault, because we'll discuss it and then do the names. I think this scene is very similar to Ralph's scene with Joe in what was it, episode 10 of season 4, and where.
How the fuck's that similar?
Well, it's not where like Ralph is giving Joe this life lesson, but I think in terms of the tone and everything, if you will.
It was more reminiscent when Barry told Iris that she would get killed by Saboteur. It's more reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
Similar music, stuff like that. Same tone. Because Barry started crying, didn't he? Remember? Barry started crying just like Iris. And yeah, meanwhile, Nora didn't cry, just like Barry didn't cry. It was much more reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
But, so Barry asked Nora what happens to him because he needs to know. So she took him to the time vault where it said about it said about the
crisis.
Flash vanishes missing in crisis, and then she said, "You don't come back." And it's revealed that she was only like 2 or 3 years old when it happened.
Something like that, yeah. I've got my own theories on like the whole hatred between her and our hatred she has for Iris. Yeah. I'll get to that at the end.
She doesn't have our hatred. It's not hatred, is it? It's it's a tiny bit hatred, but it's more the fact that she's sick and tired of Iris constantly being there.
I think there's the
first time she remembered Barry was at the wedding.
I think there's a lot that plays into that, but we'll save that for later. Yeah. It was a brilliantly done scene. Yeah. I think it's probably one of Grant's sort of best scene performances.
Yeah, because when she said you don't come back, he says for how long, and then she gets and she puts up a second hologram, and it says 25 years later, Flash still missing. 2049.
I'm thinking that there could be parts where there's going to be that crisis crossover. I think that's probably going to be the biggest one that they do.
They said they're aiming to get that part, and that's where obviously everyone's said this before. That's where it's probably going to loop back down to the beginning of the series, where because Barry and Reverse Flash are fighting. We already know that
something happens.
Then they both disappear in a flash of light. What happens when they time travel? A flash of light. And they both disappeared, and then
anything can happen with a flash of light. Really, it could be a speed force portal.
Oh yeah, obviously the outcome could change. The outcome could change, but they both disappeared in 2024. Arthur was talking, obviously, and then we know Eobard figured out his name at some point. That's where them talking, and then back in 2000, both Barry and Eobard come racing out of time.
Yeah, like I'm thinking you probably won't go missing. It depends how far they go with the whole storyline. Really, how far they want to go with Barry being the Flash, and whether they continue the series, but they change it over to Wally or something. But that will be up for debate. But that scene, Oh boy, I think that was probably one of Grant's best performances, and that's the moment I personally sort of was sold by Jessica Kennedy Parker's performance.
Yeah.
Like,
Although it wasn't Barry's best one. Well, it wasn't Grant's best one yet, but his best one has been in the Time Vault. It was when he was talking to his future self. It was similar tone and all that, but of course he had to play two characters, literally same character, two versions, near
yeah,
fighting.
if we're
but not
going like he's
fighting.
just playing the one character.
Yeah, one of the best ones yet, if not the best
Yeah,
one.
because I'm going off solo character here. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it's very rare that they're gonna get an actor to play two characters.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
only happened
It's happened
technically 3 times at the moment in the Arrowverse. 2 of those were for Barry. Both in season 3. One where he goes back to speak with Wells or Thorne.
Yeah, that's season 2.
That's season 2.
Episode
Sorry.
17.
And then we've got the one in the future. We all know what happens there. The other one was for Stephen Amell
Mr.
when
Emo.
he was playing Oliver twice for Crisis on Earth X. Well, no, it's happened 4 times, but like Melissa has done it as well, and she.
We're talking about Barry though. Barry.
Yeah, no, like it's rare you
Oliver,
get an
right?
actor to play the same role, but like different versions or
Did you
slightly.
know Barry actually has experience of that before? Fuck's sake, I do that with loads of things. Grant has experience of that before. In a show 904210 or something like that, he played twin brothers.
Yeah, like I think that's the only way that you would really do it on a regular basis is if you're playing something like Team Brothers. But no, that at the moment,
I hope they
today,
do Cobalt Blue at one point.
yeah, loads of people.
I have the fucking comic arc.
Yep, lovely.
Well, one of them anyway.
No, I think that's the point where I sort of became sold by Jessica Parker Kennedy. It's just like, oh right, they're actually not writing this character to be very awful comic relief. They're actually writing her to have a genuine backstory here. Because I think one of my biggest concerns for Nora was that like, she isn't, like, great, but then that Time Vault scene, fuck me, she's brilliant. I do not know if you share my thoughts on that, and have you fucking cut out again? Because if you have, we're fucked.
I'm here.
Okay, I was gonna say.
I've already agreed with you twice.
Okay, I didn't hear you.
Fucking twat.
Didn't hear you say. Yeah. But no, because there was that initial concern for me going into this episode and this season that Nora was just being written as like a way for possible comic relief and wasn't really going to have anything major in terms of the story.
You was worrying about that. You was worrying about it going into this season, not like 6 months ago or anything. You weren't worried about it then.
No, I think I was worried about it then, but she popped up 4 times?
I'm talking about the very last episode. So not going into this season since the last.
I was worried about it anyway, but like when I saw the trailer from Comic-Con and everything, and the whole, oh, she's giving Barry the Flash ring, is that the only thing she's really here for now? And then we get to this, and I'm just like, okay, she does have an actual purpose. They're not just doing this for a reference to some hardcore comic fans and then giving us shit writing for the rest of the season.
Actually, if they're actually doing that just for they're doing that just like please some comic. They would not have made her excess. They would not, and she would not have. She wouldn't be excess or have Jenny Ognat's suit either, which is excess. She'd be Dawn Allen. But nope. They changed it up. They combined 3 comic characters, all descendants of Barry. They've combined 3 descendants of Barry into one person.
Yeah, but like, even if it wasn't a single character who was written perfectly, it would have been more a reference to comic fans than like anyone else. If we're being completely honest, that's probably what would have happened.
Yeah, because of course, you have Dawn Allen, who she is, but with the name Nora. Then in New 52 or Rebirth, in an alternate timeline, you have Barry's daughter, Nora Allen, who's a speedster.
But apparently not
And
Iris's child, I think you've told me. Then who? I think you've just fucking cut out for me. Brilliant!
hello.
Yep, I can hear you. And you're gone again.
Jessica Cruz.
Jessica Cruz, okay. Because I remember you told me one of them was,
Hello?
yeah, Jessica Cruz. I remember you told me that one of them was, not Iris's kid. I think it was Nora you told me. But...
One moment.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
Right, I'll speak while you compose yourself then.
One moment. That fucking hurt. I just all of what I was dense in the one just went blah at me. When it all lagged. I fucking just jump scared myself. I jump scared my future self.
Right, lovely. No, this is like really the scene that like sold me on her, because for me in season 4, she was just there as another pointless thing to write into some episodes to pad out the runtime. And that's kind of all she was doing. And that's what I felt that she was there for in that season. Looking at her now after that time vault scene, I'm just like, okay, I think there's some genuine good stuff for the character here. But whether or not, that's just me. Your thoughts?
I told you.
Should we talk about Iris this episode? Because I know you really want me to say it on air, so I'll say it. Iris was not that bad.
Dun dun dun!
There you are, you're welcome. No, to be fair though, I remember I rang you up after I sort of finished watching it and gave you a preliminary review because you hadn't finished watching it yet. And I said, it finally looks like, even though the writing is not great, it finally looks like they're giving her something and Candice is able to look like an actual competent actress for the role. But, so, like, I'll let you say your thoughts on her first, and then I'll sort of, like, chime in and we'll discuss it from there. Dylan.
Yes.
Yeah, but, okay, I'll let you get started with the whole Iris thing then, and then I'll give my thoughts. Are you going to say anything?
Oh, fuck's sake. So let's ignore that.
You might want to move closer to your mic as well. Sorry. And I can't hear you again. Brilliant!
You hear me?
Yep.
Oh, it's got a little sound effect, yeah?
Yep, there we are. Okay, no, but, yeah, I'll let you...
I hope that appears, I hope that actually appears in the actual podcast.
It should. But
I swear, if there's no audio, again, I swear.
no, I heard that, so it should appear.
I mean, the actual recording. If it's like a time where you thought there was audio and there wasn't, I swear by God I will kill you.
Okay, yeah, I will let you get your... Well, I'll let you start with the whole Iris thing then. And you've gone quiet. Dylan. Fuck.
Hello?
Yeah, hello, I can hear you. You need to move closer to the mic because you're quite quiet sometimes.
Oh. But, it's yeah, like you said, I was just given, intelligent writing this episode. Fucking dogs.
Oh, you've got dogs
Can you hear
barking next door, have you? I can't hear them, so you're fine.
Oh, okay. But obviously, like you said, you actually like dives in this episode.
Yeah, like. Yep, thank you. She is being given like actual writing that seems like it's being written by someone who knows what they're doing for once.
Kanan. But for how long?
Yeah, that is a good question actually. I was saying to myself earlier when I was thinking of what I was going to say when it came to this subject. If they can keep the writing at not the greatest level, but they give her writing similar to what they gave her in this episode, yeah. It might be cringy, but it's better than anything else she's had so far. Because I have flashbacks to the first episode, and the first time she smiles at Barry, and I'm just like, this actress is going to murder me and my entire fucking family in our sleep.
But now you starting to like her a little bit more now, yeah?
I'm starting to see that Candace can actually act this character if she's given the kind of writing that she needs. And that is probably one of the biggest things that has made the biggest difference.
What about that?
Pardon?
Just pop the cork. And get the champagne. But don't let Cisco near it.
That's a very bad idea.
Can I just take Cisco to AA?
Alcoholics Anonymous? No. He'll be fine. No, he'll be fine next episode.
Yeah, he will be because he's a main character. They can't have addiction. They should be able to.
No, but realistically,
Constantine, he's got a fucking smoking addiction.
He's going to be a main character on Legends this season, so.
Yeah, not immediately though. It's going to take a few episodes to get there or something.
I don't know. I've not really heard much about Legends. Back to the subject at hand. Back to the subject at hand, though, and discussing this thing with Iris. For one, what do you think of like her chemistry with? Well, what do you think of Candace's chemistry with Barry now?
Candace's chemistry with
Barry. Well, Barry and Nora. Barry and Nora. Do you want me to start with Nora and then discuss that and go to Barry?
Isn't it? 1 minute. That's messed up for me.
Okay. Shall we start with like her chemistry with Jessica Kennedy Parker and Iris and Nora together and move on to Grant and Barry? Dylan? Yes or no?
1 sec.
Jesus Christ. Sorry. We're already an hour and 8 minutes into this. Come on.
An hour and 8 minutes into it.
Yeah. We'll start with Candace and Jessica and Iris and Nora respectively. Particularly the jitters scene. What did you think of that?
That was weird.
You've gone quiet again, so I didn't hear that.
It was weird. Oh, so we don't know about the future. Let's just blink twice if we get something right.
I remember I'm just hearing it all. I remember that's one of the point where
wait. Wait, we know about the future. Shut up, no, I'm your mother. You listen to me.
Yeah, basically, like, it came to that scene, and for me, it was just like, oh god, the cringe! It was one of those points where it's just like, oh lord, it's actually agonizing cringe at this point. I'm not sure if it was the acting or the writing. I think it was a bit of both. It's just like, oh lord. It was cringy. You can't deny that. And you're fucking silent again.
I said there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, you keep cutting out sometimes, that's why. Like now, for instance. I heard that. But, no, it was cringy, but it's family drama. When it's family drama, not cringy. Tish. Am I right?
Because I know all about family drama, don't I, Kenyon?
We both do. We both do.
But me a lot more in the last couple of days.
Oh yeah,
Last week.
you a lot more in the last week or so. Nah, so. Oh, yeah, no, that was cringy, but I think it'll grow as time goes on. Like, you know,
But it is cringy. It was. You have to admit something. You have to admit something about it.
what?
It's good to see the cringe back anyway. I've missed the cringe a little bit.
You've missed the cringe. Oh,
every
boy.
good show has to have a little bit of cringe. Not much. However, they do overdo it at times.
It can be overdone at times, and you know,
cringe is natural, so they should include it. But when they put too much, it's like, yeah, that's not natural at all. Back out here.
Yeah, like I feel there was a bit too much effort put in by someone when that scene was being done. Was it the writers? Was it Candice? I don't know. Jessica didn't really say anything.
No, she didn't. She was sat there drinking.
She was just drinking the coffee. If the coffee was real, she was just having a great time. If the coffee was real, which it probably was, she was having a great time.
Oh yeah, it was sat, blink a few, have a coffee, blink a few times. There's your work done.
And just try and look extremely awkward.
Yeah.
But
Hey, what do you want to reckon? That you obviously, Jessica had to make herself feel awkward, yeah.
Yep.
So what do you reckon the odds are she was imagining Candice naked? Nah.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine that, and that's how she made herself awkward. Acting tips from Dylan.
And what if Jessica is LGBT anyway?
And what if she's
LGBT and she found Candice attractive? What then?
Then she's imagining Candice's boyfriend.
Does Candice even have a boyfriend? Would anyone even go?
Imagining Grant. Then she was imagining Grant. Then.
What if she was bisexual?
She was imagining the mama.
Jesus Christ. Moving on. Moving on.
No comeback to that, huh?
No, that is just Jesus Christ. You're gonna get me age restricted.
I'm surprised you didn't say something. Well, just in the reverse flash to come back to your mum. It's a comeback and a comeback. For fuck's sake.
No,
Stop getting with the puns, mate.
But what did you think about like Candice's chemistry with Grant in this one? There's one scene to me that stands out in particular where I'm just like, okay. I think you can guess which scene, but
was it the end one?
It wasn't the end one. It was the one where like they're having that discussion to do with the to do with why Barry wanted to originally send Nora back and how she didn't think it was for time travel timeline reasons at all.
Yeah, she's like, you went back in time and got smart. You changed fate to save my life.
Yeah,
you went to the future to figure out who Savitar is. This ain't for the time travel reasons. This ain't for protecting the timeline. It's like, oh damn, she just called you out, son.
No, I thought the chemistry was good in that scene. Like it took again, like I found the performance cringy, but that's just due to like relationships and TV shows in general.
And also the writing.
The writing for them is never great, let's be honest. But the writing for that scene...
Well, the writing is never great. Season 3, episode 20.
20 or 22? You've cut out again. You've cut out again.
Can a real satire come and kill me?
I can hear you now.
Of course.
Was it 20 or 22 though?
20. You said the one.
No, in terms of like putting relationship drama into TV shows, it's never great.
Happened.
It can happen, but not very often. And I feel this is probably as good as it can get with where Candice's writing for Iris is now.
On the CW, anyway.
No, not on the CW, because like there can be relationship bits that are done pretty well. And for me, like Candice's writing and acting isn't great right now that she's got to work with. But for what it was, for now, that kind of scene where they are discussing that, and it is genuinely heartfelt conversation. I'm just like, you know what? Yep, I can understand where you're both coming from here. That's probably the best you can get to with that.
I still like how Iris called.
Yeah, she called him out, but I think like I always knew that Grant was going to have this storyline for a while. Like we saw that within like the Comic Con trailer, and we all knew, okay, he's matured as a hero, but this is his daughter, so he doesn't really know how to feel, if you know what I mean. Dylan?
I said yeah.
Yeah, you cut out then. But, no, that's something that happens with, like, a lot of it, and I don't really blame anyone or anything for that. Like, it's natural within some storylines at this point that would happen. And it seems like a logical way for them to go, you know. He's a bit of a veteran now, he's matured as a hero, he's not making the mistakes as much as he used to. So, that's how it is.
The way it is.
You need to move closer to your mic again, but I did hear that.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it is. What bit do you want to discuss next then?
Oh yeah, I like to remember near the end of the episode. Once again, it's Ralph.
Oh, you've cut out.
Why didn't Barry time travel?
Oh, that
Why didn't
joke.
Barry time travel say no? And then when they looked awkward, he was like, "No, I'm just kidding."
Yeah, that bit. But one thing I really loved, the action scene on the plane. That was brilliant. Because not only did they do flashbacks all the way to season 1, episode 17, but Barry is clearly... Yeah, like the plane scene, like phasing the plane and all of that. That was brilliant scene. Because not only did they do the flashbacks to season 1, episode 17, with Wells saying things, but it also shows that Barry is finally willing to sort of take his daughter in and like teach her as well. Like, I don't know if you've seen
It wasn't that point because he was fucking trying to save fucking plane full of people at that point.
But you know, like the scene itself, the scene itself, like that scene leading into the next scene, sort of those two scenes do it, I think, as well, and that does brilliantly.
Is this podcast your formal welcome to Jessica onto Team Flash?
Kind of, yeah, because it finally seems like, you know, they've given her...
When we upload it later, or
when I upload it, yeah.
I can just tweet it to her.
The official Lightning's Retribution podcast welcomes Jessica Kennedy Parker to Team Flash. You know what? I will do that just to make you happy. I will do that for you.
Do that. That actually has the possibility of getting...
What, retweeted?
Fuck.
You cut out, so I didn't hear what you said.
I said, should we do that actually? Because that has 'cause it's an official account that would see it, and if she says something about it, a lot more people see it, obviously. So what would be good? It'll be good for
We've not really,
marketing,
well,
yeah?
we're not really like discussing anything, related. So
Warner Brothers could have seen it, but oh shit.
what? Just saying, oh, we officially welcome you to the to Team Flash. No, but I liked. Like there wasn't really anything I strongly disliked in this episode. We'll discuss it because I know you've probably got a lot of questions. Let's discuss the lounge in Star Labs.
1 second, and this people's what you call character growth. You last year, Jack. Oh, this episode I strongly disliked Iris. This episode I strongly disliked Iris. This episode I strongly disliked Iris. This time Iris was just about noticeable. This episode I strongly disliked Iris. Now you. There's nothing I strongly disliked about this episode. Real character growth. Well done.
No, that's character growth on Iris's part. But no, but I know you've got a lot of questions, so I'll bring it up. Let's talk about the lounge in Star Labs. Because I know you've got a lot of questions.
That was fucking interesting. Like, or Wally raced around that place before and fucking find the place. Meanwhile, Joe fucking found it and just didn't tell him.
I just love his reaction. I love the reaction. He's just like,
though, he's been using it for years.
Yeah,
he said,
exactly.
I've been using it since day one. He's been using it since fucking 2014.
Exactly. No, but I just love his reaction to everyone going in. He's just like, damn. And I just laughed.
Since day one.
Yeah, I just laughed so much at that because it's just like, I feel bad for Jesse L. Martin. They don't give him anything to do anymore. Like, he's not had anything major to do for quite a while. Ah, shit, you're cutting out again.
He's just no dad for Jessica, for what's the name? The baby. What's the name again?
I think it's something like Jenna. It's not important. It's not important. Just throw that plotline aside.
Jesse Quick Marie. There we go.
But
hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I love that scene, but then like it really just sort of brings everything a bit more full circle. It's a self-contained episodic story. Things finally look like they're setting up, and then we move on to the post-credit scene for the episode, and that is like the first, hint at like a season-long story arc.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cicada.
Cicada.
No, I think it's brilliant. I think this somewhat slightly confirms that he does have lightning powers. I think. Like, I think the trailer confirmed.
No, we saw we saw the lightning going into the daggers.
Yeah, I think he needs to use that to use the lightning powers, but
he got struck by lightning as well, and that grants him immortality.
Yeah, it grants him immortality, but I think in terms of like an offensive power for him to use this season, I don't mind them making changes like this. I don't think you do either, but they do sort of. It is sort of like, okay, we've got this character from the comics. We'll keep him true to himself. We'll just add in an extra power because then he can do something as a bit more of an offensive combat option, if you will.
By the way,
you just cut out halfway through.
Oh, can you hear me now again? Yeah.
Yes.
So in that Cicada ending, we heard this sound, yeah, when it plays. We heard that, yeah. That kind of clicking sound, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the sound of a real cicada.
What is it? A spider or something?
No, it's cicada. It's a type of beetle or it's a type of bug.
Right. Okay. So the big bad for this season has taken his name after a beetle. Fair enough.
He took his name. Well, yes, he took his name. We got Bug-Eyed Bandit a few years back.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, no, like I do feel like they've sort of.
She had a bit of a beef fetish. I mean, what?
She did. No, like I do think
I
they've
just heard my laugh and now I'm ashamed.
Yeah, like I do think they've given Cicada an extra power in the way of like he needs the dagger for lightning blasts or something, just so he's got like an extra power he can use offensively.
Yeah.
Which to be fair, I've got no issue with because like you showed me, I've seen a comic book cover of him. Like I think the page he used it, and it's just like, oh, does this guy have lightning powers as well? Oh, and then I've seen some evidence of it. We saw some evidence of it in the trailer, the Comic Con trailer. We saw some evidence of it in the end of this episode that the lightning glows into the dagger. I think they've limited it that he needs the dagger to be able to.
Shit.
Pardon?
Shit.
What?
Right, yeah. Because someone said about it on someone said about it, and if you look closely at it, where did this say? Scroll up. It said just watched a new episode and saw that Cicada's dagger had labs on the bottom. Anyone talking about
No, I didn't
the
see.
satellite?
I didn't. Yeah, if
I
you
just looked at watched that again. It says labs right at the end of it.
what on the dagger? So you think it was made out of the
Yes.
Starlab satellite?
Yes.
Yeah, see, like multiple things could have happened, but like I think they've done it in a way of like he needs the dagger to be able to fire lightning blasts or use lightning powers in a like controlled way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it just seems like, oh, we've made him a bit too overpowered this season. So I think they've taken care to limit that a bit, haven't
If it is a Starlab satellite.
they? I won't lie, I couldn't hear you for a good 3/4 of whatever the sentence you were saying was.
Said it makes
And you just cut out again.
sense if it is made out of Starlab satellite. Do you know why?
Why?
Because what just punched it? Like
Yeah, like
before.
has he touched that and
Barry
gotten
and
like
Nora.
Speed Force lightning powers? Has he touched that, built
No,
the dagger?
the daggers have got infused. I think it got infused into it.
Yeah,
And that's
obviously we've got to wait and see. But if they have given him an extra power, because if you
let's
think
see
back,
what's happened.
yeah, if you think back to the Comic Con trailer, like loads of lightning just surrounded it from some sort of nearby TV set. So I do think they've like added that extra power, but he might need the dagger to use it and control
I
it.
think that was his old house. I think that was his old house.
So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. I think that used to be his house.
You just cut out.
Humans. You know how before the season started, they said that his family was torn apart by metahumans.
He's the what by metahumans?
Before the season started, they said his family was torn apart by metahumans. Yeah.
I didn't see that comment. No, but carry on.
No. Well, his family's been torn. Is also in the casting thing. But yeah, he was torn apart. Like, his family is torn apart by metahumans, and oh fuck, on it. Oh fuck, I've forgotten.
No, you're not.
I've forgotten. That's what I said.
Something to do with like family
That's
torn
it.
apart by metahumans.
That's it. I reckon that in that trailer, that was his old house, and there was literally child toys on the floor. Bet that was his old house.
Yeah. Anything else you want to discuss from the episode, or do you want to give me the names from the newspaper? When I can eventually hear you.
Obviously, we still got the theories, but
We'll do the names and the theories together. So, do you want to do the names and then I'll do a theory and you can do a theory? Dylan, I can't hear you.
one moment.
I can't hear you still.
One moment.
What are you doing?
I had my phone fucking mock me by.
All I heard was I had my phone mock me.
Oh,
Are you back? Dylan?
okay. Shot in the screenshot.
And you've cut out again.
I'm going. Yeah.
I can hear you
My
now.
phone. On this phone, I'm now going on to Discord. Well, on the other phone, yeah. Other like not the one that I'm using to talk on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sending the picture now, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Have a look at that. Have a look at the end of the dagger. On the right.
On the right. Oh yeah, I do see
Read
it.
what-
It's on the hilt.
So yeah, that's probably made from the Starlab satellite.
Probably. So he built it really fucking quickly.
No. Remember, he had a dagger. He had the dagger when Barry was still in the fucking. Don't say he's gonna be a speedster. He was in that trailer. He was in the house when Barry was just fucking. When Barry just blew up the satellite, and he already had the dagger. What the fuck?
I don't know. But he'll be an interesting character.
Maybe he's not Starlab satellite, but it's something else out of Starlabs. Oh, wait a minute, weren't there? Wait, the satellite broke apart though, and different parts came in there, and Barry just blew up the main chunk of it. So it could be an earlier piece.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Do you want to give me the names from the newspaper then, and then we'll give a theory each. Don't give the newspaper theory or anything like that because I want to see how that plays out through the season.
Yeah, obviously it's 25 years later, as we all know.
Yeah.
Sunday, April 25th, 2049, blah blah. Iris West Allen. So there goes the theory that people have theories that Iris remarries or something, and that's why Nora doesn't like her. But clearly she doesn't remarry. But it said the little snippet because that's a name. I can't just say the name by itself because it doesn't make sense much. Thousands gathered here at the Flash Museum to commence that day's quarter-century anniversary. Names were read of the other victims of the attack, and Governor Singh.
Huh.
Looks like Captain Singh got an upgrade.
Guess Joe's getting one soon in this season, possibly then or at some point.
Well, remember, 2024. It said about
5 years away, 5-6 years.
Wait, no, wait. Oh fuck. Oh no, that was yeah. In the trailer was already police chief, wasn't he?
Yeah, he is at the moment. He's police captain. So what other names are there?
There's obviously the Scarlet Speedster, Flash, yeah, that's what I said earlier because it recount. It's maybe doing a recount. It's like maybe 25 years later they recount what happened. It's maybe like I said, it was not until the Flash and Reverse Flash disappeared in an explosion of light. Like I said, some eyewitnesses remember dozens of other heroes present, including Green Arrow, Batwoman, and the Elongate. Others remember heroes fought lost in time, the Atom, or from other worlds like Supergirl. Some even say they saw Reverse Flash leading an army of shadow. What the fuck? Why would they say that in the newspaper? Researchers focus on Roger Hayden, aka Psycho Pirate, who claims to remember night's true events. He said upon the arrest, worlds lived, worlds died, nothing will ever be the same. Staring up the golden statue of the Flash, this reporter remembered the words of former police chief Joe West. We don't have many details. What we do know tonight is Central City's greatest protector vanished in the Flash. I hope he returns.
Yeah.
Those are Those are all the snippets on from the names. Governor Singh, eh? Boy. I mean, we already know that Barry comes police chief at some point.
No, he becomes director of the CSI division.
Oh, it was the chief of the CSI division.
Yeah, but
Is that what he is now? Actually, it's what he is now.
no, they've not said officially if he is.
Okay. I can't remember what Singh said properly. He got reinstated.
He got reinstated. They've not said if he's like, in
probably
charge.
that has to be soon. That has to be soon then, because
Probably.
obviously he obviously invents Gideon before 2024.
If they mention it, then they mention it. I mean, I've got a theory, but are there any other like names in the article that you need to give?
Oh, pardon?
Are there any other like key character names you need to give, or have you given them all?
No, Iris, Scarlet Speedster, Reverse Flash. Oh no, wait. In order: Flash, Iris West, Scarlet Speedster, Governor Singh, Flash and his allies, Reverse Flash, Reverse Flash, Green Arrow, Batwoman, Elongated Man, Atom, Supergirl, Reverse Flash, Roger Hayden, aka Psycho Pirate, Police Chief Joe West. That's all the names.
Okay, so that is it'll certainly be interesting.
Oh yeah, like I said, so they know about the multiverse then, other worlds like Supergirl. Yeah, so the public knows about the multiverse then.
Right then, I've got a theory on why Nora hates Iris, because she put particular emphasis on the phrase she's around. So one thing I find interesting, I had the theory that Iris is single mother. I think that is like established anyway. Like she doesn't get with anyone. She doesn't get with anyone new.
And of course, Nora might actually have encouraged her to, because it's been 25 years.
I'll leave that for the show to mention. I won't.
Yeah.
I won't delve into those kinds of specifics.
Yeah. Because of course Nora also knows he could come back. So why? So in that case, why should we encourage him? But it's been 25 years, so she kind of would. It's like a quarter of a century. And Iris that time is like what? 11, she's like 60 years old now by that point.
I'd say that the characters are under 30. Like they would be maybe 29 or something. So we'll see what happens on that front. Like they're 28, 29, maybe a bit younger, the characters. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We know Barry and I are the same age.
Yeah, I'd say that the characters are maybe like 28, 29. There's no like definitive age given.
Oh, they're 29. Barry is 29 at the moment. He was born on the 14th of March, 1989.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, wait, are you wondering how I know that?
No, I'm not. I can't be bothered.
His driver's license was shown. But yeah, so in 2049, Barry's 60 years old. And if Iris is the same age as him, then yeah, she's 60 as well.
I'm guessing Barry probably ages slower because speedster things and all that.
Yeah, but then, also, that's your theory. My theory do that newspaper.
I've not said my theory yet, Christ. But, yeah, so, can you hear me? Yep, you're all good?
Yep.
So my theory is that, obviously Iris is a single mother, we know that. My theory is that, and don't hate me for saying this, I'm just going to say it because it is valid. So, obviously, because we know her character from things like Season 3 and Season 4, my theory is that she then sort of starts acting like that after Barry disappears, and
Something like what? All depressed.
All depressed and all like self-centered and everything.
Yeah.
And so Nora starts to hate her for that, and feels like, well, you weren't a very good mother. So after Barry disappeared, you felt like everything was about you and how sad you were and everything. And so she's got.
To be fair though, she obviously she didn't know it, come idea, but of course she loved him since they were like 11. So yeah, 11.
Yeah, something like that. But
so yeah, it was not his mother.
Yeah, so basically, my theory is that either she wasn't around, like I won't say she got addicted to drugs. I think that's a bit too far. I think she may have like gotten addicted to like maybe even
Alcohol.
alcohol, like maybe just drinking, and so she was like partially a neglectful mother due to grief. And if that did happen, I'm not saying it's likely, but I would be very interested to see the show take that route. It would certainly add like a lot more conflict for the characters, because I don't want the issues between those two to be sorted within the first few episodes. I'll be completely honest.
What do you mean, like Iris and Joe lot in season 3?
Yeah, that, but also just like any kind of conflict on the Flash is really generally solved within a few episodes, save for the big bad one. Had conflict.
They just all their conflicts. They just solve in the Flash.
Jesus. But so my theory is she sort of ended up being a bit more neglectful, or not like the best role model figure. Because, you know, there was a lot of emphasis, if you think back, Dylan.
Pardon?
Yeah, there was a lot of emphasis, if you think back to Laura saying she was, you know, around. That doesn't imply that she was particularly being like the best mother figure.
No. She wasn't saying. She wasn't talking about childhood. Barry asked, "Is Iris still there in the future?" And she said, "Yeah, she's around. Remember, Nora's an adult now. She wouldn't be constantly be around her mother, would she?"
I'm talking like growing up, because obviously Barry disappeared when she was like 2 or 3, so it may not have been the best upbringing just due to grief or whatever and stuff.
She wasn't talking about being brought up by Iris. She was talking about being as an adult, and is Iris still around?
Yeah, at the moment she's talking about that, but I'm saying this could be addressed that she wasn't the best mother in a later episode or something like that. So that's just my theory at the moment, is that like she doesn't have particularly good feelings, maybe due to something like that, like grief got the better of Iris sort of thing. Dylan, can you still hear me?
I said, look, what how she was like, when Barry was gone for 6 months.
Yeah,
Now think 25 years.
Yeah, so yeah, that's sort of what that's.
I think I'm off the self.
I am as well. No, like you know, being fair though. So yeah, if you put that into from a few months, and you see how Iris was then, and how sort of self-centered and everything she was there, I wouldn't be surprised if when Barry disappeared in 2024 in that timeline, because let's be honest, with the way the show's going to go, the timeline will have changed completely by the end of the season. But the crisis.
I don't think that is going to change. They've always said they want to get to that. They want to do that.
They've said they want to get to that, but I think it'll change in the way that the
every time they change the future, every time they've been changing that future, well, that newspaper.
The newspaper's still being there, but in different ways.
It ain't changing. Like the headline's still being the same. And then, even Iris isn't around. He still disappears in 2024.
Yeah.
When she's killed by Saboteur. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I think like she just sort of becomes very self-centered, and she sort of becomes overcome by grief. That does happen.
Yeah.
The
reason she becomes self-centered is to take her mind off of it.
Yeah, and so obviously Nora as a child may suffer for that. Like she feels like she hasn't had the best family life. So
maybe Janice is still look after her more.
Yeah, so it's that kind of thing. Like it's not like deliberate.
Papa Joe.
It's not like deliberate child neglect, but she might hate Iris for something like that. And I kind of hope that they do a storyline about she wasn't around when I was a kid.
I mean, obviously, you don't want it to be resolved in a few episodes, but I hope it is resolved by the end of the season.
Yeah, obviously let it be a season-long thing maybe. And let it actually run its course.
Like Killer Frost in season 3, trying to find a balance between Caitlin and Killer Frost.
Yeah.
And right at the end of season 3, she was both.
Yeah. Something like that, please. But also, like, obviously, the only reason I'm saying that is because that would be a very interesting kind of arc for it to be done. Like, obviously, like, not deliberate child neglect, and you know, that sucks in real life and everything, and that's not very good. But I'm assuming you can still hear me, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good. But so she basically hates Iris for not being around when she was a kid. She doesn't have a good relationship with her, and it's sort of gotten to the point where she deems it too late to have that relationship, but hip and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see something like that in the season. What do you think?
You still here?
Yeah, well, I heard that. I don't know if you were saying anything before.
Nah, cool. Just making sure. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like, it'll be a very interesting arc to have.
I do hope they do something over the season like that, because it would be cool. Because, of course, I've known people that have suffered from accidental child neglect. Ish.
And, like, obviously, that's not going to be healed within, like, the kind of time frame that they're using for.
No.
But I think the way that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about myself, by the way. I'm not talking about myself.
Okay. That's good.
Because you thought it was me, yeah?
No, I didn't actually. I wasn't
sure. The way you went. It's like we do that.
Well, like I don't really know what reaction I'm meant to have to you saying that, but there we are. But like the way they've teased it in articles and stuff, it doesn't seem like it'll be resolved within like the first few episodes. It seems like the conflict between Nora and Iris is going to last a lot longer. So it will be very interesting to sort of see that happen. I look forward to it. And I can't hear you.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Okay, now I can hear you. So, anything else you wish to discuss on this podcast, or shall we?
Let me think.
Well, have you got like any other theories, like in terms of, particularly around Nora?
Yes.
Particularly around Nora.
But I didn't get to say my theory because you said theory. My theory, due to the newspaper, is of course Barry was gone
Yeah, Barry's gone.
And he was still missing 2049 of
Yeah.
25 years, like it said.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure in the comics, Barry was gone for about 23 to 26 years before coming back out to Speed Force.
Okay.
So what probably happened was he disappeared, obviously, in 2024 to
I do have a question for you regarding that newspaper. Do you think if they get to the crossover and like say the timeline does change but the crossover does still happen, do you think he's going to be gone for less time? Do you think he could be gone for less time?
If they carry past April 2024, will he be gone for less time?
Yeah.
Well, because it's 25 years, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like then. Yeah, they're not going to have him gone for like that amount of time, considering he's headlining the show. And
I mean, obviously,
it all depends on contracts and everything, really, doesn't
it? They could get if Kanan wanted to do it, he could then show Wally becoming like up more the Flash, like in a comic.
Like real life wise, it all depends on contracts and everything and how those end up negotiated. But in universe wise, if they keep
come on, Kenan, please, we're gonna need it.
Yeah, but like if Grant does choose to keep working for them and keep going with that contract and everything, then I think that there will be less time. It would certainly be for the first half of the season that he would be gone at least. Like that would be what, a year, pretty much.
I mean, if Wally becomes Flash, maybe we can get Blackatar.
Oh Lord. Really, Dylan?
What would you say?
Oh Lord.
That's a joke. Hopefully we'd get the actual Savitar, because he never came along in the actual show. In the show, we didn't get the real Savitar, unfortunately.
But yeah, so that's like.
Wait, 1 minute.
Yeah.
I think Barry in the comics. I think Barry disappeared.
Look, all we know is he disappeared. That's all we need to worry about. Anything else you wish to discuss on podcast?
You want me to run through the episode in my head, see what we covered, what we haven't.
Like, we've covered the important parts, really. That's all we can say.
I think we're missing.
Oh, what do you think?
That.
What scene do you think we've missed? Dylan, what scene do you think we
I'm
missed?
trying to think.
Like, we skipped a bunch of ones that weren't important overall, but
I know, but no, he disappeared for 23 years. But no, whoa. Let's see. Oh, why do I think we're missing something important?
if you
I get the thing.
like,
I get the thing important, but I can't.
unless it's to do with like advancing Caitlyn's side story to do with the killer cross being gone.
Yeah. No. Yeah, Ralph obviously found out that Caitlyn's father never died, and it was fake.
Possibly never died. We don't know.
That someone's been cast. I'm pretty sure someone's been cast as Caitlyn's dad.
I've not seen any casting news around that, but I was going to say, hey, we should maybe leave that for a while and go back to it at a later date, sort of when there's more on that storyline. Dylan.
I said, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't hear you. You had cut out when you said it. Very helpful. I think that's it. I think that's everything. Should we leave it there? Or
Okay,
is there
maybe 1 sec?
Or is there anything else you want to discuss?
A second. By the way, I think Caitlyn's dad's called Thomas. So yeah, Thomas. Which is what Cecile said when she looked into Killer Frost's mind. Yeah, so she said about
And you've just cut out.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Back in August, the Flash cast actor Kyle Secor as Caitlin Snow's father.
Never heard of the actor, but okay.
He's from Veronica Mars.
Never heard of it.
Heard that though? Neither have I actually. But yeah, he actually looks what I imagine him to look like. Hell.
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah,
but
he said Dr. Thomas Snow, who was previously thought to be dead, will attempt to reconnect with his daughter while visiting Central City. The cast announcement confirms an earlier rumor about Caitlin's father being in season 5. But in the finale, Cecile, when he's been this way all the time. And of course, Caitlin's been a meta since birth. Something like, or
yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
If her father had powers, he could have been a meta all this time. Because I'm pretty sure
I don't think it's going to be like your standard villain of the week thing. He'll be in at least a couple of episodes.
Yeah. Like every other parent. I mean, look at Preacher, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
He was in 2 or 3 episodes.
I think it was 2
3.
over.
3. He was in one. He was in one for like a few seconds. He was in one for a few seconds, wasn't it? Then there was that one where he hunted Cisco.
Yeah, one where he hunts Cisco. One where he's pretty much losing his powers.
Yeah, and there's one other small side one, wasn't there?
Yeah, like his role is more just a cameo one, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, good old Danny Trejo. Good old Danny.
Yeah, but I think that's everything.
He's like Rob. He's been like Robbie Down.
I think that's everything for this podcast. Nothing else really worth mentioning, is there? Dylan.
I see it's going. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. Yeah, I don't think there's like anything else really to talk about on podcast now. I think that's it. And he's gone again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
I said, yeah.
Okay, well,
Ow.
thank you everyone for watching the podcast. We will probably be back next week unless we end up doing a special because Dylan really wants to do a special on a certain movie that's come out.
Oh. 1 minute. Obviously, some people that are watching this podcast when it comes up, you'll probably have seen the movie, and by the time we release this this podcast, we'll probably already have done the episode insert in the film. And 1 second, get the audio file up for it.
You're actually getting a fucking audio file. Jesus, you can't just say the movie.
No. Got to do it good. Got to do it good. Audio recorder. People. I know people are like, get on with it.
They are. Get on with it before you cut out again. Like you just did. And you still are.
Okay. The film has the quote. If it plays.
And I think you just cut out.
There we go.
You cut out while it was playing.
Are you fucking shitting me?
No, I'm not.
You gotta be shitting me.
I'm not. It does not like your quotes.
We are Venom.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone had worked out since we only ever talk about comic book properties. Thank you for watching the podcast today, everyone. We're finally back for a new season. Uploads will hopefully be consistent. Jesus Christ, that just murdered my ears.
I'm sorry, Kane. Is this better?
Yeah. Ow. Ow.
Sorry, people.
Oh my fucking god, that hurt. Thank you everyone for watching.
At least it's not. Nah, see you, people. Have a good day, night, Kiwa.
Have a good day, night.
Force be with you.
Yeah, have a good day, night, evening, or even morning. And as always, see you soon, guys. Peace.